Frustrated with adhesives that fail when you need to bond metal to plastic? I've discovered the 5 glues for metal to plastic that actually create permanent, reliable bonds. Our extensive testing process, which includes stress tests and environmental exposure trials over several months, has shown us exactly which adhesives deliver lasting results under real-world conditions. Each glue for metal to plastic in this ranking offers unique strengths that could be perfect for your specific repair or project. So make sure to watch the complete list. You'll find all the links with the best updated prices in the description. Here we go. Starting off at number 5, we have the 3M Super 77 Multipurpose Spray Adhesive. And what really caught my attention was how this approaches metal to plastic bonding from a completely different angle than traditional squeeze tubes or mixing systems. You're getting a professional spray application that coats both surfaces evenly, eliminating those weak spots you sometimes get with brush-on adhesives. What I noticed during my testing was that aggressive tack they advertise. Once you spray both surfaces, you've got anywhere from 15 seconds to 30 minutes of working time. But it grabs incredibly fast once you bring them together. The versatility here is honestly impressive. You're not just limited to metal and plastic combinations. This bonds paper, cardboard, fabric, foam, wood, fiberglass, leather, insulation, and pretty much any lightweight material you can think of. Additionally, that repositionability feature saved me multiple times when I didn't get the alignment perfect on the first attempt. I know you're wondering about actual bond strength for repairs, and this delivers that industrial-grade performance they promise. What's even better is how clean everything stays over time. No yellowing or soaking into porous materials like I've experienced with liquid alternatives. However, keep in mind, you'll definitely need good ventilation since it's a spray adhesive. Moreover, you'll want to mask off surrounding areas to prevent overspray from getting where you don't want it. One consideration is that it's specifically designed for lightweight materials, so heavy structural repairs aren't really its strong suit. What really convinced me was how fast and clean the entire application process is compared to messy liquid options. My favorite part is that initial repositioning window. It prevents those frustrating permanent placement mistakes. You'll find the link in the description. Next up is the Loctite Super Glue Gel Control 6-pack, and what caught my attention was how this completely changes the game when you need precision for metal to plastic bonding. Unlike the spray approach we just saw, this gel formula gives you total control over placement. That side squeeze design means you're getting exactly the amount you want, exactly where you want it. No drips running down your project, no mess on surrounding areas. What I noticed during my testing was how the gel consistency lets you work on vertical surfaces without any issues. You're getting that 30 to 45 second working window, but once it sets, you've got a bond that dries completely clear. I know you're wondering about actual strength for different materials, and this handles metal, plastic, rubber, ceramic, wood, and even leather without any problems. Additionally, that no clamp feature saved me countless times. You position your pieces, apply pressure for less than a minute, and you're done. What's even better is how clean everything stays over time. No yellowing or visible bond lines that can ruin the appearance of your repair. The 6-pack format gives you serious value here. However, keep in mind that cyanoacrylate does have limitations with flexible materials or high-impact applications. Moreover, you'll want to store the unused tubes properly, since super glue can dry out, if not sealed correctly. One consideration is that this works best on clean, slightly roughened surfaces. A quick scuff with sandpaper on smooth plastics makes a huge difference in bond strength. What really convinced me was the combination of precision control and speed. My favorite part is not having to worry about positioning perfectly on the first try, since you've got that brief working time to adjust. You'll find the link in the description. At number 3, we have the strongest metal repair glue waterproof, and what caught my attention was that dual syringe applicator system that takes all the guesswork out of mixing ratios. Unlike the quick setting options we just covered, this 2-part epoxy gives you that perfect 1-to-1 mixing every single time. What I noticed during my testing was how that metal powder enhancement actually makes a difference in bond strength. You're getting something that feels more substantial than standard epoxy resins. The 10-minute working window is honestly the sweet spot for most repairs. You've got enough time to position everything properly without rushing, but you're not waiting around all day for initial set. Additionally, that 12-hour full cure time means you can trust the repair to handle real stress by the next day. I know you're wondering about durability for outdoor applications, and this delivers on those waterproof and oil-proof claims. What's even better is how it handles extreme temperatures without losing that bond integrity. The wide material compatibility means you're not limited to just metal and plastic combinations either. Ceramics, glass, and various plastics all bond reliably. The upgraded formula they developed shows in real-world performance. You're getting faster solidification compared to older epoxy formulations, but without sacrificing that final strength. Moreover, that resistance to harsh environments makes this suitable for automotive repairs, plumbing fixes, and marine applications, where other adhesives fail. However, keep in mind, you'll need to commit to using what you mix, since there's no going back once you squeeze those syringes together. Additionally, Additionally, proper surface preparation is crucial. Clean and slightly roughened surfaces make all the difference in final bond strength. One consideration is that this works best when you can clamp or hold pieces together during that initial cure phase. What really convinced me was how this enhanced formula handles conditions that would break down weaker adhesives. My favorite part is not having to worry about environmental factors compromising the repair over time. You'll find the link in the description. Next up is the Teenanseen High-Temp Metal Epoxy Glue, and what really caught my attention was how this focuses specifically on high-temperature resistance, where other adhesives tend to fail. Unlike the faster-setting options we just covered, this two-part epoxy takes a more methodical approach, with that 24-hour full cure time. What I noticed during my testing was how that metal powder enhancement actually creates a bond that feels more substantial than standard epoxy formulations. You're getting equal parts from each tube, so that 1-to-1 mixing ratio keeps everything simple. I know you're wondering about durability in extreme conditions, and this delivers on those high-temperature claims. Additionally, the complete accessory kit eliminates those frustrating moments when you realize you need mixing sticks or gloves halfway through a repair. What's even better is how clean the entire process stays. No harsh odors that force you outside or leave you dealing with fumes. The versatility here impressed me. You're not just limited to basic metal and plastic combinations. This handles ceramics, glass, fuel tanks, automotive repairs, and even marine applications, where temperature cycling and environmental exposure would break down weaker adhesives. However, keep in mind, you'll need to commit to that full cure cycle for maximum strength. Moreover, proper surface preparation makes all the difference with epoxy formulations. A quick scuff with sandpaper on smooth surfaces improves bond strength significantly. One consideration is that you'll want to have everything positioned and clamped before you start mixing, since there's no going back once you combine those components. What really convinced me was how this handles conditions that would compromise other adhesives over time. My favorite part is not having to worry about temperature extremes affecting the repair months down the road. You'll find the link in the description. Before we reveal our number one, be sure to check out the description below for the freshest deals on each of these items. And finally, number one, we have the Liquid Weld Metal High Strength Epoxy. And what caught my attention was how this 3-pack approach completely changes the value equation for serious repair work. Unlike the single tube options we just covered, you're getting 3 separate 1.76-ounce containers, plus dedicated mixing tools, that pusher and squeegee combination. It eliminates the guesswork from getting consistent results. What I noticed during my testing was how that putty-like consistency gives you more control than liquid formulations, especially when you're working on vertical surfaces or filling gaps. The 5-minute initial set time hits that perfect sweet spot. You've got enough working time to position everything properly, but you're not waiting around, like with slower curing alternatives. Additionally, that 24-hour full cure delivers the strength you need for demanding applications like fuel tanks, exhaust pipes, and automotive repairs. I know you're wondering about versatility beyond basic bonding, and this really shines as a gap-filling solution. What's even better is how it handles the extreme conditions that break down weaker adhesives. High temperatures, chemical exposure, and impact stress all get handled without compromising that bond integrity. The cold weld positioning is interesting because you're getting welding level strength without needing specialized equipment or skills. However, keep in mind, you'll need to commit to using what you mix, since there's no saving partial containers once you start. One consideration is that surface preparation becomes crucial with this type of repair. Clean and slightly roughened surfaces make all the difference in final performance. What really convinced me was having multiple containers available for different projects over time. My favorite part is not having to ration adhesive when you've got a larger repair job that needs doing right. You'll find the link in the description. Now you know exactly which adhesive will give you that strong metal to plastic bond without wasting money on weak glues that fail when you need them most. Check the description for updated prices and complete specs. Amazon prices change constantly,